But what this man did to David Fizdale yesterday was disgraceful. He threw the coach under the bus. He's basically told the world, it's not really our fault. It's his. While he's still coaching the team, setting the stage for David Fizdale to be fired. Who don't know that David Fizdale is probably going to be gone? Who don't know that? I ain't going to lie to y'all. At this stage, I'll be shocked if David Fizdale lasts until Thanksgiving. Matter of fact, I might be shocked if he lasts till the end of this week. 10 games into this season of minimal to no expectations from any basketball fan with sense, you threw the head coach publicly under the bus. I didn't say anything about private. Steve Mills and Scott Berry have every right to give their recommendation to James Dolan. They got every right to have private conversations with the boss of Madison Square Garden and to let him know where they stand and why and what recommendations, whatever they may be, are. My issue is not with what they said. It's with the decision to have a press conference and to throw David Fizdale under the bus, sitting here acting like you have nothing to do with it. Nothing. It has nothing to do with what was said. It's the fact that they said it publicly. The New York Knicks just fired David Fizdale. They just haven't told us yet. Because by having that press conference yesterday, that's what you did. And for what? Because this team was supposed to be better? How much better were they going to be? Who didn't know the New York Knicks were going to struggle this year? Who didn't know?
We got 7-2. We got a nasty division rivalry. Here comes pressure. Wilson escapes. Here goes Russ. Past midfield. Inside the 40. And he makes magic again.
In the biggest parts of this game, he made plays.
Russell Wilson, the guy, I tell you, he's better than Harry Houdini.
It's probably the craziest game I've ever played. I don't think I've ever been a part of a game that crazy, that long, that back and forth.
Russell Wilson put on that cape again.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
With no fees or minimums that can be open in 5 minutes. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One NA. Member FDIC. You can also download the Vivid Seats app and enter promo code ESPN25 at checkout and get 10% off your next order. Don't just buy any seat. Get a Vivid seat. Bob Wischusen in for Stephen A. 888-SAY-ESPN. 888-729-3776. And, you know, the one thing I didn't talk about with Monday Night Football, to me, all of those factors to why the Niners lost. I gave a lot of credit to Clowney. That's why the Seahawks won. But the biggest reason that the Seahawks won that game is because they continue to have, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter the ebbs and flows of the game, no matter the problems that they may have to get over, else, if that makes any sense. You can't catch him, and yet he looks like he's playing in slow motion, right? You can't bring him down, and yet he is gliding around back there, making smart decision after smart decision, putting unbelievable touch on the ball, tremendous accuracy, always has his eyes downfield. Russell Wilson is just as good a quarterback as there is in the NFL. I hate saying that there's one guy that's better than everybody, Because right now, it's probably a dead heat between Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson as to who the MVP ought to be. And then you're going to get in the Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Bradys of the world, and so on and so forth. But you're not getting better than Russell Wilson. Not the way he's playing right now. He made that one mistake last night, floating that ball into traffic down the right side in overtime. But the entire game was in his hands. The whole game, the whole night. You make one bad decision and about a million good ones, that's okay by me. Man, he is some kind of player. Let's go to Andre in Massachusetts. Joins us first here on the Stephen A. Show on ESPN Radio. What's up, Andre?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. As far as Russell Wilson is concerned, and his steadiness under fire, again, that has to do, to me, with the leadership, what Pete Carroll has done in Seattle. And that's also the reason I feel they're getting a much better Jadeveon Clowney than what you saw in Houston. Organizational strength makes a big difference. That's the conversation that we're having with the New York Knicks. It makes a difference who and where you play. Okay, and with Seattle and their consistency, even though they continue to interchange players over time, it reflects who's on the sidelines and what the organization has done under the leadership of Paul Allen for many years. So that's my takeaway there. Concerning the 49ers, I absolutely feel that Kyle Shanahan should have went for it on that 4th and 1. First of all, people are going for it more on 4th downs, 2 a game. The success rate is like 65%. And you got a kicker. Yes, he had made 3 field goals. The whole narrative about the pressure being too much. I agree with that narrative, even though he had made 3 comparable field goals during the game. But this is the guy's first game. He's not a stat. So that's why I feel, yes, he had done it before, but you can't put a guy. It's his first. This is not Adam Vinatieri. And even if he will be, he's not going to be Adam Vinatieri in his first game.
All right, but Andre, back it up, because to me that's playing the result. You're the coach. I think the far more pressurized kick is the one to force overtime. Your team's down 3. You have to make the kick just to get the game tied and keep it going. Now the game's tied. Even if you miss, the game continues. Still a ton of pressure on the kick. But you just went down the field at the end of regulation. And you just put this same kid in the exact same spot from the exact same distance. And it wasn't like he mishit it and the thing knuckleballed through. He drilled it. He drilled a 47-yard field goal right down the middle. Now you are back at the exact same spot on the field, kicking to the same end of the field, at the same uprights, where he had just made the game-tying kick. Are you going to tell me you're going to go for it? What happens if you get stuffed there? You're going to tell me the second-guessers aren't going to pile out of the woods going, wait a minute, why would you not trust the kicker to make the same kick he just made 15 minutes ago? That's what he did. Wasn't like he tried a 56-yarder. He had just made a 47-yarder, and they tried again from 47, and he blew it.
Indeed, point taken. The reason I would push back is because the San Francisco, they're a run-based team. That's what you do. Okay?
But Breida was hurt. You know your best kind of hammer looking for a nail running back in that spot was hurt. He wasn't in the game. You try to go for it with Tevin Coleman there.
Okay. Yeah. The way that he missed, point taken. That's a valid point, and I'll take a step back. He missed that kick so bad when they went to Kyle Shanahan and looked at him. The look on his face.
Well, of course, that's every television crew, and certainly Monday Night Football. I work on a college football crew. We've got like 12 cameras. We're going to have a camera on the head coach to see what his reaction is when the ball goes through the uprights. Monday Night Football's got like 50 cameras. They probably have 3 cameras pointing at Kyle Shanahan to see what his reaction was going to be based on the success or failure of that kick. I'm telling you right now, I don't think he made one questionable decision in overtime. Not one. They should have gotten a better spot. I think it was a first down. I think the refs blew it on that call, and I think that was a game-changing call, A. B, the kid had just made the same kick to force overtime. And C, you can't put him down at the 20-yard line and ask him to face the guys on his team, tell them for the rest of the season, boys, I believe in you, and have those guys really think that that's true. Because what they're going to have lurking in the back of their mind is, you didn't believe in us when we had the ball at the 20-yard line. You had us put the thing in the freezer and play for a tie. Let's go to Sam in Vegas. Joins us next here on ESPN Radio. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Bob. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Big fan of the show. Listen, you can't be more wrong about Kyle Shanahan. Listen. It's a minute and 50 seconds. Your opponent has 0 timeouts. If you run the ball or run a draw or run a screen, now it's 2nd, whatever, 5, 8, whatever. You're telling me you don't think your team can still get down the field with 1:10.
Well, they did. They ran a very conservative. The second down play was like an easy pitch and catch slant, and the receiver which kid was it? Pettis got one hand on the ball. I thought he kind of shallowed his route out or steepened his route a little bit, and I think Garoppolo made a better throw than they gave him credit for making on television. That's a 90% play. He is wide open on a 7-yard slant, and they missed each other. If you're a coach, you're not going to second guess yourself for calling a play that has a receiver wide open on a 7-yard slant. That's a great play call. You're going to count on your guys to execute it. That's no different than a screen.
It is, because every 10-year-old who plays Madden knows you get that clock running on first down. Every single person who plays Madden knows that. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that you're going to give the ball to Russell Wilson with any opportunity to get down the field and beat you after you just sang him 4 minutes of praise about how he's the greatest quarterback in the league right now. There is no way you can give him the ball. You have to either win or tie. You want to throw that ball where only your guy can get it, right? That's the whole idea. You want to make sure you either win or tie in that spot.
Yeah, but you have no run game right now because Breida's hurt. So you can't go to that thinking you're going to get a first down. A. B, you ran a very conservative pass call. It was a simple slant. The guy was wide open. They just didn't execute it. If he threw, 4 verticals and was just hoisting the ball down the field, I was surprised he made the third down decision that he made. If you look at the route tree of those receivers on third down, he had options on third down where he didn't have to throw a bomb down the rail. Now, he could have converted that as well because the guy was open. He underthrew him. What are you going to do? It's a bad call. It was a bad executed play by the quarterback and maybe a bad decision as well. But having said all of that, I had no problem with the calls they made nor the strategy to attack. You attack and you try and go win the game. Bob Wischusen in for Stephen A. 888-SAY-ESPN. 888-729-3776. Benny joins us next here on ESPN Radio. Hey, Benny.
How you doing, Bobby?
Good.
My quick question for you was, who do you think the Stanford Sharks even have a chance at making the even a wild card spot in the NFC?
Say it again?
Because right now, the Cowboys and Eagles are both 5-4. I mean, this is looking like the worst division, and I just think the Sharks can have a good run, and they could possibly make a wild card spot. What do you think?
Who's going to make the wild card spot?
The Stanford Sharks in the NFC East.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's go to Jesse in Chicago, joins us next here on ESPN Radio. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I wanted to make a comment because I heard you start off the show talking about how Shanahan was playing to win the game. But in my opinion, I had a bad taste in my mouth how they just played it conservative, taking a knee right before the half with, correct me if I'm wrong, we had about 40, 50 seconds left.
I think they had 38 seconds. I thought the same. They had 38 seconds, I think, and a timeout. And you're right. I guess you can go back to that and second guess that decision. But I think he showed he's got a lot of faith in his guys the way he attacked in overtime. And to me, that's much more the topic than the last 38 seconds of the first half. Bob Wischusen in for Stephen A. 888-SAY-ESPN. 888-729-3776. More calls in just a sec. When it comes to hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get your short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get your short list of qualified candidates and discover why more than 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. That's Indeed.com/hire. And if you are a Disney fan, it is finally here. My kids could not be happier. They can now download the Disney Plus app right now and start streaming the best of Disney.